Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at Pikachu with grey felt hat, at Van Gogh Pikachu. And we need to ask the question, wait, was this a mistake? Because this card has been doing what cards don't generally do. Like, it's been going up over time. Yeah, that happens. And this is kind of a weird promo that was given out in a weird way and is, kind of impossible to get nowadays and all of that. I get it. But these cards don't do that. Now, for anyone who needs a reminder about exactly what happened, this was a promo card that was released to coincide with a Van Gogh exhibit at the Van Gogh Museum, except this wasn't any usual Van Gogh exhibit. This was an exhibit of Pokemon cards slash Van Gogh, not even Pokemon cards, Van Gogh slash Pokemon. Bunch of Pokemon that were drawn to look like classic Van Gogh paintings and also lent themselves to TCG cards very well, like, for instance, Pikachu with grey felt hat, which incidentally is the only one. I know there's some bootlegs floating around here, there, and everywhere. This was the only actual promo card that we had. But it was an actual promo card for the Van Gogh Museum exhibit. It was kind of awesome. Now, unfortunately, things did get a little bit dumb. They had a bunch of merch at the museum, which was lovely, as well as the card, and people couldn't behave, which sucked. Honestly, it was rubbish. Everything sold out, and then they stopped giving away the promo cards at the museum. They literally just were like, no, we're not doing it anymore. We're not doing this. We're not giving a promo card away at the museum. It's too much. People aren't behaving. We're done. A little bit sad. And then it did appear on the Pokemon Center, which was cool, but then everything sold out. But it did come back to the Pokemon Center. And I'm not saying every single person got everyone they wanted, okay? I'm not saying that was the case. But I am saying that anecdotally, it really did feel like people got it. I didn't have many friends left. By the end, I didn't have many friends left who wanted this and weren't able to get it. And it was a bit of a pain and it was a bit stressful and all of that. But it did come back around a couple times. It was made available. People got it. And for a long time, this card was reasonable. I ain't saying cheap. I'm saying reasonable. So September the 30th, 2023, the day after my birthday, it was a $100 card. Okay. For a card which is only available at a museum and sold out really quickly and then went on the Pokemon Center and all, that's okay. We kind of get it. If you go forward to like November, it ended up being a $150 card, which was a little bit sad. But it was floating around there for a while. And in February 24, here's a graph from TCG Player showing it is in fact going down. Okay, it was fine. But look at this graph from September 2024. It got as low as 90 and then started going up. And I want you all to remember, it got down to like $90. The problem is it kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. You see where I'm going with this? It kept rising. What are we looking at now? It's an awkward question. Now, if we just blindly look at the TCG Player graph, we look at it and we go, oh, okay, about $520. Just a smidge over $500. That's fine. That's acceptable. We can look at that and go, okay, yeah, fine, that makes sense. But that's not really where we are now, is it? Because it wasn't really a $500 card. Because if we look at the most recent sales, well, things get a little more interesting. Because the most recent sales, you're looking at about really $700, because there was one at $600, but that's lightly played. Oh. So actually all the sales there are sitting at $700. So I know the graph might say 520, essentially the graph hasn't caught up. And this does happen sometimes, especially where the price is going up quite quickly. The graph isn't keeping up and it takes a little while to kind of refresh and show us all the data. And essentially, if you can find it for 520 at this stage, that honestly might be a little bit of a bargain. So we head on over to eBay and we go, well, all right then. This is going to give us like up to the minute sales. Maybe this is going to be able to show us exactly how much people are paying. And be careful, there's a lot of bootlegs and stuff like that around, which is super awkward. And honestly, like on eBay, they're basically all graded. This must be one of the most graded cards of recent years. But we see there's a 10 sold for $715, a 10 sold for $770, and a 6 sold for $280. But bearing in mind, like 18 months ago, this was like a $90 card. The fact that a PSA 6 is selling for $280, that might kind of tell you what we're doing here. It's also kind of occurred to me, I don't know exactly where my Pikachu a Grey Felt hat is. I was given one by Pokemon. I'm obviously not going to sell it. That would be rude. But I do have this card. Maybe I should figure out where it is and put it somewhere safe. That might be a decent idea. The last raw sale of this card over on eBay, you have to scroll down quite a bit. It was $850, which is bizarre to me because PSA 10s were selling for $715 and $770 after this. Why is anyone spending $850 on a raw when a PSA 10 is like 7 something? I cannot be the only one that's looking at this thinking that doesn't make a huge amount of sense. And if you saw the thumbnail, which you probably did, or the title, I'm assuming you saw one of them on the way to this video, the question I posited was this a mistake? And I think the answer is probably yes. Because the thing is, I don't know how many of you managed to go down to the exhibit in Amsterdam. I did. Although, to be fair, I was taken by Pokemon, which was really nice of them. But I loved it. Like, I legitimately loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. I spent a long time really admiring the half a dozen pictures they had. I was a huge fan of it. And there's a strong argument that it was ruined by the promo card. Because when it opened to the public the next day, everyone was just going there for the card and the merch. No one was going to actually see the paintings. And obviously I'm exaggerating, I'm sure some people were. But the vast majority of people were going there trying to get the promo card and the merch so they can sell it and make money. And, you know, I showed you the picture of how badly behaved people were at the Van Gogh Museum. We're now pretty much exactly 2 years since this happened, because it was September 2023 this all went down, and we're in a situation where the card has risen to like an $800-ish card, $700 card, somewhere around there. The prices are still all over the place. And there's a strong argument that that promo card kind of ruined the launch, because there's something else we haven't really had a chance to talk about on this channel yet, because it's not really TCG specific, but the National History Museum in London is having a crossover event with Pokemon. You can pop on down between the 26th of January and the 22nd of March and chill. And there's a shop and Pokemon stuff and all of that. And there's an exclusive plush you can buy. Who doesn't want the plush? The thing is, we've not heard any word of a promo card for that. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're not getting a promo card. And I also think, and I don't know, let's be perfectly clear, I have no insider information, I don't work for or speak for Pokemon, but it certainly does feel a lot like there was no chance of getting a promo card here after what happened the last time Pokemon went to a museum in Europe. Which honestly makes me sad. There's nothing I like more than a themed promo card. I go everywhere and go to ridiculous lengths to try and get these promo cards because they're amazing. And it honestly makes me genuinely sad when this stuff isn't happening. But this crossover's been announced without a promo card. I think it's probably fair to assume it's not happening. Was the Gogh Pikachu a mistake? Probably, honestly. It was supposed to be a cool promo card that just made a lot of people behave very badly. But the one thing we can say with an objective head, this card is going up in price. It is going up something fierce. And do we honestly think it's coming down at this point? It's not like there's more of these being given out. It's not like the card is becoming any less cool. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably going to keep going up for a while yet. But I've told you all about it, and now it's over to you guys. Did you manage to pick one of these up before they went ridiculous? How much do you love this card? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join the Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Nick Gleason, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.